Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and we are live to a Sunday fun day live gaming chat. Cheers. I am having one of my out of that box set that I told you guys about with the all the German beers, the imported ones from small breweries and stuff like that. This is the Langang from the Langang Brewery, the Langang Pills. They generally don't say the whole word Pilsner over in Germany. They just say pills. So anyway, there's what she looks like. Golden Pilsner. And I like this one a lot better than I did the last one. Again, the last one wasn't a bad beer. It just wasn't quite, there was something in there that just wasn't my thing. But anyway, so this is this Langang Brewery it's in Hamburg, Germany. So anyway, so that is the beverage situation for today while we're doing our live. And one of the things we're going to go over when we get some people in here is I promised at some point to showcase my Lord of the Rings online collector's edition stuff. And I have quite a bit of it to show. This thing's full. So for any of you out there that are interested in, because a couple of you did ask me about Lord of the Rings online when we were talking about MMOs and stuff. So, hey, Rob, I'm glad that you're here because I have to ask you a question. So I responded to you on my last live where you put that you were hoping Liverpool was going to beat Arsenal, and then I saw today because there's a TikToker I watch from over in England, and I don't know if you follow any TikTokers, but it's Pablo the Bulldog. It's his owner, and he's an Arsenal fan. And he woke up, and I turned this on this morning. I was watching TikTok, and one of the first videos was him. He's completely fucking hungover because I guess he's an Arsenal fan, and the game last night or whatever, because they got their asses whipped by Liverpool. He got shit-faced or whatever, and he was walking the dog down to the shops, as you guys put it, to the shops, to get some bacon and for breakfast and stuff like that, and get the dog some treats or whatever. And I was laughing because I was like, oh, Rob's gonna be happy because Liverpool won. Not only that, the way he put it, he put it some funny way, because I guess 4-0 is an ass whooping in soccer. So he put it I can't remember how he worded it, but anyway, so I was laughing about that. So I had to go on and I had to respond to you to say, oh yeah, you guys won 4-0. And then I saw a notification on my phone that you said something after that. You responded, and when I went to click on it, goddamn YouTube, I'm assuming YouTube deleted the comment because it said comment no longer available, unless you deleted it. So if you deleted it, please let me know. Otherwise, that's telling me that fucking YouTube is still deleting comments on my stuff, and it pisses me off because I've got it set to allow all comments. So let me know, Rob, if that was you that deleted it, because if not, it tells me that shit's still going on. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it, but I sure as hell be pissed, you know. So anyway, I thought that was kind of funny that when I saw that today, you were the first one I thought of when I saw that. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So we're going to go through this. We can talk about whatever other gaming stuff is going on. So LOL, yeah, thanks for that. Nope, I didn't delete it. That's what I thought. The match was a bit slow until Two managers had a row, and that sprung them life. So the two managers, did they? I gotta go back. I'm gonna have to Google that and see if the two managers, did they like come to blows or some shit, or were they just having a row verbally, or I gotta find out about that because, excuse me, that sounds interesting. So, uh, anyway, but that does answer my question that YouTube, if anybody that works for YouTube, anybody that has anything to do with it, please answer me. Why are you guys deleting random comments from my stuff? It pisses me off. He and I were having a conversation in the comments, and I didn't get to see the last comment because you deleted it before I could even read it. I have it, they both got a yellow card. Okay. I didn't know. Well, I just learned something. I didn't know that the managers could get yellow carded or red carded or anything in soccer. Now I know they can. So I'm assuming that so they can actually. Well, that makes sense because in baseball, in American baseball, the managers get thrown out all the time. So yeah. Hey, Chupa. So, anyway, so we'll talk about this. I don't know how long this live is going to go because for a couple of reasons. Number one, the wife gave me a nice lengthy to-do list for today of shit I got to do around the house. And number two, my allergies are kicking my ass for some reason today. I don't know if it's because the leaves are falling, the trees are all dying, all that shit's dying out there, and and because everything's dying, it could be that they're putting a bunch of stuff like that. So for whatever reason, yeah, I probably sound nasally. I got the Kleenex there because the allergies are kicking my ass. But anyway, YouTube sometimes deletes my comments if it's controversial, even if not swear words based on facts, etc. Also fixing my sleep schedule, going to sleep soon. Well, nice to have you, Mister. And by the way, just because you're a moderator, Mister, I don't want you to think that that there's any obligation that I expect anything that you have to be at all these lives or anything. I just did that so that if you happen to be on, and then you see something that I missed, like somebody put some racial shit or whatever offensive stuff or whatever, that you basically, I'm saying I trust you to delete that stuff if you feel like you want to. But I don't have any. I'm not having any obligation for you to have to do that if you don't want to. So, also, AJ, the reply that got deleted was from my phone, not my PC. I don't know if that has. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. Hey, Jonathan. Or should I just call you Corn on here? We call him Maze, his character Maze in the D&D game. And then some of us fuck with him and just, instead of saying Maze, because it's Maize, as in corn, we just call him Corn for short, just to, because when he created that character, he created it with that fancy ass name, me Athril Amberglin or whatever, and that wasn't going to fly, so it just became Maze. And then even to go even further, we just call him Corn. Okay. My comments have been deleted on both Windows and Android, so no. Okay, so it's not just. So I guess what I'm reading from that is that I guess I feel good in one way and shitty in another. Good that it's not just my channel that they do that to, but shitty in the fact that they shouldn't be doing it to anybody's channel. If the content creator goes down and marks allow all comments, that's what it should mean. It should mean allow all comments. And then because I have moderators, I have myself to police it, and I'm taking that responsibility to do that. But yeah. Anyway, your tabletop campaign is really great. Well, we think so, Rob. This Friday episode, and Jonathan can tell you, We only bullshitted around for about the first half hour. We usually do that whenever, just while everybody's filing in and everything. So we just bullshit around the first half hour or so, and then the rest of it was just solid fucking gameplay. This last one, till midnight. And there was, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail here because I'm going to have to do a separate video again because there was a lot to go over. But yeah, there was some epic battles again, with the stone giants threw them for a loop. Because the way that Gary wrote the module was that if the party does XYZ, the giants are going to react, well, I shouldn't say intelligently. He didn't use that word. They're going to make defenses, and they're going to make strategies to try and put up a defense accordingly. And so that's what I did. And the stone giants were waiting for them in a big ass hallway. They basically were waiting for them. As soon as they saw them, the stone giants come running full fucking speed with big ass boulders, and as they're running, their first action is to throw the boulder, and they creamed a fucking couple people. I mean, they didn't kill anybody, but I was rolling 20s too. I was rolling 20s quite a bit at that. I have one die. I should have shown it. I'll show it next time. I got one die that I love. It's an oversized D20, and I was rolling I must have hit 6 nat 20s that night. So yeah. So the stone giants were definitely do you stick to the module map, or do you add your own rooms or dungeons and set? So on this one, I have stuck exactly to how it's laid out and everything. The only thing I've done differently is I've, based upon the characters' decisions and how they've made their various attacks on the compound, including tunneling down into the caverns, which I don't think Gary Gygax ever expected the characters to tunnel down into the caverns underneath and forego the other way of getting down to the caverns. But anyway, that's what happened, and so I had to plan accordingly. I don't change any of the rooms or any of that stuff. But as far as the giants' movements and strategy and all that, yeah, they no, I didn't use Trusty Chupa, not this time. Trusty had a night off. I was using a different one. And Jonathan, hey, don't give him any ideas. Trust me, Jonathan. You ain't got to worry. You got to worry about what's up in here, homeboy. Anything anybody's going to say here, I've already thought of and either dismissed it or put it on the back burner. So you just got to worry about what's up here, Slim. So have you ever come across fighting a deity in combat for D&D? I can't imagine success is doable even for a lesser deity. I have never encountered player characters taking on a deity. I have seen deities show up, and in this campaign they've actually had a demigod, Saint Cuthbert, showed up and smote some evil on their behalf. And I went over all that on, campaign. This was going way back with the Watchers and all that stuff. But as far as PCs, player characters fighting a deity, I have not seen that. Now, I'm not saying that's outside the realm of possibility, because in basic D&D there was 5 sets. You had basic, expert, companion, master set, and immortal set. Those were the 5 sets. So you had basic, expert, companion, master, and immortal. Those were the 5 different sets of rules. The immortals set was specifically for very high level characters, and in that they absolutely most certainly could fight a deity. So And so I have never witnessed it, but the rules do support. Um, yeah. So, oh yeah, and what Jonathan's talking about there with when Cuthbert did show up is that Cuthbert, the deities in my campaign, and the way I understand it in first edition was the deities do pay attention to what the mortals are doing. They, especially their followers and that type of stuff. And Cuthbert had an absolute interest in what was going on with the Temple of Elemental Evil and the Watchers and all that. But as a result, he was watching and he saw one of our player characters, Hingle, the little illusionist assassin, completely tormented a bard that pissed him, that offended him or something at one point, and he made it that character made it a goal to torment that dude to insanity, and then it ended up with that bard's demise. So as a result, I had Cuthbert, when Cuthbert did come in and intervene, he did that. He basically saved the players, but he singled out Hingle, and he branded across his chest the name of that bard that Hingle tormented. So it's now branded on Hingle's, on the player's, the little gnome. It's branded Pete the bard. Pete is branded on Hingle's chest. And so now when Jonathan says, um, that, well, he was a bard, Jonathan, and torment. If you don't think, Jonathan, now you got to chime in. If you don't think torment's the right word, you better bring up a different word, because, but, because like I said, Hingle drove Pete the bard to insanity. He, using illusions, and at one point he gave him a beating, and then he pretended he continued to torment him from town to town, and basically made him lose his mind. And then he ended up stealing some money from it. It was a whole, maybe light harassment at best. Please, I could go into details about some of the stuff he did. If you want me to go that route, Jonathan, we can take some time and I can go into detail about, how he ended up, the Pete had sent some money, a considerable amount of money, to the city of Greyhawk, where the Bard's College was, because he wanted to, his lifelong dream was to attend the Bard's College. And Hingle had that money intercepted, and then he forged a note from the college back to Pete saying, "Hey, we got your money and you've been accepted and everything." And then Pete goes to Greyhawk, all happy because he's going to make it into the Bard College, and he goes there to the first day, and the headmaster's there taking roll of all the new attendees, and he doesn't call Pete's name, and Pete's like, "Well, what about me?" And he's like, "We don't have you on the roll. You didn't send us any money. You haven't been accepted or whatever." And Pete loses his shit and brains the headmaster with his loot. Hits the headmaster in front of everybody with his loot, because he completely, this is after Pete's already been harassed and tormented by Hingle for months. This was the final straw that sent him over the edge. And then, of course, they put him in the stocks in Greyhawk, in the stocks in the middle of town square. They put Pete there. And then Hingle used illusions to make it look like he was basically birthing a demon in the middle of the town square, and the fucking guards come over and kill Pete. Now, did I use the right word? Torment? Tell me. Yeah, I mean, there's shit that I'm gonna forget, Jonathan, like that. The paladin of Verbalbach or whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Praise Pete. Yeah, okay. And Pete was hitting on Melisana. Melisana is Hingle's girlfriend in the town of Devers. And he was singing a song. He had sang a song about the nomads of Devers, which is our group. Our group was known at one time as the Nomads of Devers. and they were trying to stay incognito. They were trying to be under the radar, and here this bard is singing about them, and Hingle told him, hey, don't do that or whatever. And the bard, I will give this to Hingle, the bard was an arrogant bastard. He was arrogant, and he said, no, you're not going to tell me what, you're not going to censor me, I'm going to sing what I want to or whatever. And that is what led to the series of beatings and then tormentation and everything that led to Pete's demise, and led to the word Pete, the name Pete, being branded on Hingle's chest by St. Cuthbert himself. Now, that's how we roll at this table back here. That's the kind of shit that happens at our table. Yeah, you don't know who they are, right? You never heard of the Nomads of Devers, right? You never heard of Nod, Nomads of Devers? You know, what's up? You know, the Nod? You know, you never heard of that, huh, Jonathan? That is a sampling of what has occurred back here in my campaign. So, didn't Pete's life get ruined? Yeah, he absolutely was ruined. He was ruined, driven insane, and then he eventually died as a result of it. Oh, and then let me go one step further. After Pete's death, Hingle took the body, and then turned it into a zombie. And in the town of Nob, because somebody at the tavern pissed Hingle off, he sent Pete the zombie carrying a freaking thing of TNT or of gunpowder or whatever, lit into the tavern and blew the tavern up. Blew the tavern up via Pete the zombie. So that happened. That was Pete's final demise. The town also had it coming. They're still rebuilding Nob because of you guys. There's nothing left, and there wasn't anything left. They've rebuilt a considerable amount, but they're still working on it. Let me see if I missed anything here. Go back. Let's see here. Maybe light right out. Okay, I saw that. The guy who had no master or whatever, poor singer, would be great. Let's see. Okay, I saw all that. You would love to see the faces at the table. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That is for damn sure. He went out fleshed out. That is the absolute God's honest truth. That you talk about fleshing out a character's story. Pete's story from the time he met Hingle McCrangleberry until his final demise. Yes, he was fully fleshed out. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that I don't know how we got started on that little tangent, but well, I know because Maze is in here. So anyway, so real quick, so I don't forget, I want to go over this. I promised I'd go through this stuff with you guys. This is for the Lord of the Rings Online MMO when it first came out, and it was back when games for Windows was still a thing, you know. And this was the special edition Lord of the Rings Online, Shadows of Angmar, it was called. And because for the special edition, you got an in-game item. You got Beyond the Shadows, Making of the Game DVD, not even a Blu-ray. And then the Lord of the Rings Online game soundtrack. You got a map of Middle-earth, and I'm going to show you the shitty map here in a second. And then full color special edition manual. So the regular manual, you didn't get the special edition, would have been in black and white. And you got this one, it was in color. So now that was for the original special edition. What this is right here, this is the special collector's edition of the first expansion, Mines of Moria. And what they did was you bought this, and it was the complete set. So you got the base game plus the expansion, and they put it out in if you wanted it to buy it in the collector's edition. Now, they did a much better job with this than they did that first one. First off, the box is really cool. Just the box alone is pretty cool. And it has a magnetic clasp here to hold it. And then when you open it, it opens like that. And this was off the back. It just shows you, you know, what all was in the box and all that. And then the other thing I'll show you real quick is that for both of them, I have the pre-order, because again, collector edition moron, pre-order. This is back before I decided not to pre-order shit anymore. This was the pre-order from GameStop, and if you did, you got a month's worth of game time for free, and then you got in-game items. And there was even a bonus. There was a bonus CD in here. I think it was another. I think this might have been the soundtrack for the Moria expansion or something like that. But so I got both the pre-orders, and then the cool part about this little collector's edition was you actually got a replica of the One Ring. Now it has lost its shine, of course, because obviously it's just costume jewelry, but you got a replica of the One Ring, and it does, of course, have, and whether or not this will come up, who knows, but it does have the let's see here, see if I can get that to do any kind of focus here. Come on now. No, it's not gonna. I didn't think it would. But anyway, you all take my word for it that the writing is on there. And it says on the box gold plated. Now, whether or not it really is, who knows? But it's got some weight to it. So, you know, for like Halloween or whatever cosplay, you know, I do have a One Ring. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't think, Rob, I didn't think it would show up very good. Let's see here. I like the map for the Lord of the Rings movies collection, not high quality, but per se, but it was nice. Let's see. The Lord of the Rings games I have played are basically just this, Jonathan, the online, the MMO. I have the other single player one that I can't think of the name of it. I have the first one on Steam. I don't have the sequel. Anyway, this was the collector's edition. This part of this collector's edition. This was the music and art collection, and you got an art book. And let's see here, so I can do this without breaking the binding or whatever. And then this, okay, this was the Mines of Moria soundtrack. Anyway, so you got that, and I mean, there's some cool artwork in there. So you got that, and then there's your game manual. So I have everything from both of these in one box just to save space. And as you can see, it is in color. So I'm guessing the other ones would have just been in black and white. So that's a pretty decent sized manual there. So gives you quite a bit to look at and everything. I mean, now we don't even get manuals, right? So, and then this was the special edition, that first one that had the making of the game DVD and then the soundtrack in it. So you got that, a little bit more artwork on the back of that. And then there's your game. That was just the game CDs right here. And then there's a bunch of these little things in here. There's like, oh, these are the product keys. They've all been used, but these are all product keys, buddy keys, basically. So those I don't want to show because I don't know. They may still be good. So if somebody wants a buddy key, I don't know if any of these will work or not, but and then just more of the discs for the Mines of Moria and so forth. Now this was one of the maps that came in this box set, the Moria box set, and this is not bad. And I think that they did a better job on this one because they got a lot of shit for the one they put in the original special edition. This is the map that you got when you first got the original special edition. This was the shitty map that they thought was something special. Now, the problem with it is, first of all, it's on cheap ass paper. And second of all, the contrast is so bad on here, you can't make out half of the words of the places on here. You can't even make them out. Even if I take my get it right like this, you can kind of read some of them, but some of them, like that word right there, is completely obliterated. You can't read that. That is a cheap ass map, and that was what they gave you with the original special edition. It was bullshit. And then when they came out with the other one, they obviously, because they got so much crap, they changed it up and did a better one. This is actually, I don't want to ruin this by opening it, but too much, but I'll give you a little bit of it. This is a poster from the Mines of Moria. I guess I can open the whole thing. Just be careful with it, because at some point I am going to hang this up, I think. I've got room on the ceiling to hang some stuff. And that's the Balrog and Gandalf. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Then there's your other. So this is the collector's edition starter guide. So you got a starter guide, which was also color, and then you got the actual Mines of Moria starter guide. So both are in color. There's a ton of shit in here, I'm telling you. I think this is another poster. This is another map. That's a bigger map. It's two-sided also. So there's that. And then there's this. And this was Angmar is on the back there. And then that's just a map. I mean, that's a very basic map. There's no detail to it, but there's that. There's the pre-order one for the original game. So yeah, and then they gave you a card with the keyboard shortcuts and all that stuff on it. And there's another smaller version of that other map. And they did include a cloth map, which is kind of cool. And this is of the mines of Moria on a cloth map. So that's actually pretty damn cool. It still smells new too. Let's see. Yeah, still has a new map smell. What else we got in here? And then there's a bunch more keys. I don't know what the hell this is. This is just an advertisement, I guess. More keys, yeah. There's keys on the back of this, but that's kind of cool little. I got room to hang that on the wall somewhere. Oh, there's the original collector's edition. I think that I didn't even open. It's not. I just used the key. I didn't even open the. That's still in shrink wrap right there. And another paper map. There's another paper map. So I got a ton of shit in here. But anyway, so that is what. And I don't even play the game anymore. But if I ever decided to jump back in, I mean, they just came out with another expansion. So if I ever did want to jump back in, I'm sure my account has all this shit, all the pre-order stuff still and all that stuff. So let's see here. Now I got to get caught up here. Third Age for me, so that must be the Lord of the Ring game that you like, Mistra. Shadows of Mordor, that's the one. Yeah. Like the Arkham games, but fantasy. Well, I like the Arkham games. So, been hooked on Fallout 4 again. Hey, I feel you, Rob. I go back to Fallout all the time. Great artwork. Years ago, I used to go to Liverpool to buy PC games and read the manual in a pub with some Craft ale. Now that sounds like a good afternoon, Rob. uh, I that pisses me off, Rob, that I know exactly what you're talking about. That Ultima box set, box that you're talking about that had the cloth map in it. I have the pin. I have the Ultima Online pin, but I lost the fucking map, the cloth map. I don't know what happened to it. But I had the same one. Oh yeah, I remember the Ultima series, but Ultima Online, yeah, like I'm saying, I got the pin, but I lost the map. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Now, how the hell, you can ask Jonathan how meticulous I am about my collection and everything. How the hell I lost something like that? More than likely, when in my Texas experiment, when we lived in Texas, some of our stuff got mixed up with my buddy's stuff because we were all living in under the same roof, and it's possible that it ended up in his stuff, So that's my guess. So the one ring goes back into the pouch here so that I don't turn into Gollum. Although some would say you can't really tell the difference between me and Gollum. So, anyway, so that is that. I wanted to show that. Last time it was the Ghostbusters game, and this time that, and then we'll see. Next time we'll figure out something else. So, let's see. So in PC gaming news, let's see. We've talked about the whole Bobby Kotick situation in the past. He's still there, even though everybody and their brother is calling for him to resign, and the board is backing him. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know if I know that they're losing sponsors and they're losing creative partnerships at this point. Now, whether or not that's going to go any further, who knows? Let's see. On the New World front, basically, if you're not on a populated server at this point, there's it's almost to the point where there's no end game at all, because you got to have a certain number of players to do the war content and all that stuff. So that's becoming an issue. I'm sure they're going to do more merges. Not sure how they're going to work that out yet because of the territory. How they could merge two servers where there's territory claimed on both. How they're going to rectify, that, but who knows? Let's see. What else? Oh, the Rockstar trilogy for Grand Theft Auto. Apparently, it was in such a bad state that I saw something either from PC Gamer or somewhere that they're saying that anybody that bought it is going to get like if they bought it on Steam, they're going to get the base games that were part of the trilogy. They're going to get those for free. They're going to grant those to the people that bought the trilogy. That way they could play those. They're not the remastered versions, obviously. That's the way I understand it. Now, if that's incorrect, somebody can correct me, but that was the way I read it. So, now again, if that's just a rumor, please correct me, but that's what I read. So, DLC for Valhalla coming out. Okay. Yeah. Again, that is on my Christmas list. So as soon as the Christmas, I don't know how early they do they may not have even announced it yet. Let's see if they've announced it. Sometimes they do. Let's put down 2021 Steam Christmas sale. All right, let's see here. Steam Winter Sale, December 22nd through January 5th. Wow. That's late. That's literally 3 days before. Okay, the autumn sale is coming up. The autumn sale is coming up. I didn't know there was going to be one. The autumn sale, it says, is coming up the 24th of this month. Where did yeah, the 24th. So that is Wednesday. Steam Autumn Sale, November 24th through the 30th. Okay, well then that doesn't up then that makes up kind of for the fact that the winter sale is not going to start till the 22nd of December. So perhaps in the autumn sale, maybe I'll pick up Valhalla then if it might be on sale then. So um I believe they want to release DLC for Cyberpunk 2027. Okay. Again, that I think would be until they fix the base game. I think they should hold off on that and concentrate on getting the base game fixed. But like you said, believe it when we see it. Who knows? Let's see. Anybody else got anything else on their wish list for Christmas, for gaming wise? By the way, if you haven't seen the Jungle Cruise, the Disney Jungle Cruise movie, it's actually pretty damn good. We watched it last night. It's free now if you have Disney Plus. You don't have to pay anything extra to stream it. And we watched it last night, and that was a fun movie. Yeah, I mean they tied it in. They tied it in with the idea behind the ride at Disneyland and all that, and then of course they expanded upon it for the film, for the story for the film. But they did that kind of nice in a seamless way, and it's like Indiana Jones and like the Lost, what was it, National Treasure and the Goonies, all like wrapped into one, in the Jungle Cruise, wrapper, you know. So Baldur's Gate 3, if I'm not mistaken, Baldur's Gate 3 is still considered early access. It's not actually considered fully released yet. My wish is a Series X or a 3090 available for purchase at a retail price. Well, good luck. Good luck with either of those, Jonathan, because I don't think you're going to find either of those, Turbo. Me and the wife like Jungle Cruise. We're watching Fast and Furious movies now. I pretty much watch whatever she likes. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't. My wife wanted to watch it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. What the hell? It's Pirates of the Caribbean. That was the other. So it's like Pirates of the Caribbean, the Goonies, National Treasure, and Indiana Jones, and you wrapped it all together and threw it on a Jungle Cruise with a wrapper of the Jungle Cruise on it. So, and the African Queen. If anybody remembers, if it's old enough to remember Humphrey Bogart and the African Queen about a riverboat. It was about a riverboat in Africa. That had a little bit of that in there too. So, you and Diane have been watching Laurel and Hardy. Wow. No, I would not have guessed that. Although some of their stuff was side-splittingly funny. Some of Laurel and Hardy's old stuff was fantastic. Of course, we're dating ourselves now, Rob, on how old we are that we even know who they are. So, Jonathan, you saw the African Queen in the theaters? I didn't even know they re-released it in the theaters. Wow. I know you like to see the re-releases, but I didn't even know they did that. So then Jonathan, you would probably appreciate Jungle Cruise, the movie, because if you like Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean, the first Pirates of the Caribbean and all that, yeah, Rob, don't be too impressed. He's not ancient or anything where he saw it when it came out. He's a young guy. He just happened to see it. He must have re-released it in the theaters. Because he's in his 20s. So yeah. So yeah, you would probably like that. I mean, it's not going to win an Oscar. It's not. Nobody's going to win any awards for it or whatever. But as far as a fun popcorn movie, Jungle Cruise was pretty good. So So yeah, I knew that's what Rob was thinking. He was thinking, "Holy shit, this dude's old enough to have seen African Queen when it came out in the theaters. He must be 80 years old." Yeah, actually, Jonathan's in his 20s, but he's up here. He's like our age. He's like in his 50s. You know. So, um, hey, Colin, how are you doing? There was something I wanted to ask you, Colin, too, and I can't remember what the heck it was. Um, I'm trying to remember if there was a. You might have been the other one that there was another comment that I think that still got deleted, even though I told YouTube not to delete any more comments. It might have been. Um, oh, so the reminders don't work worth a shit either, huh, Colin? Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. So, um, what about VR or boomer shooters? Well, I talked a little bit before about VR. I'm not a VR guy. I probably will try it at some point, but I have vertigo. So I'm afraid from what I've read and what I've heard that it can, if you got vertigo, it can make you sick. It can make you nauseous and dizzy and shit. So now, see, I would believe that Jonathan, I would believe that they re-released Casablanca in the theaters. I thought African Queen was kind of a deep cut for them as far as re-releasing stuff in the theaters. Casablanca is one of the all-time classics. So is African Queen, but not a lot of people. If you say to young people now Casablanca, they've seen enough references and stuff, they kind of know what you're talking about. Most young people, you say African Queen, they have no fucking idea what you're talking about. So, I discovered that my headset works just the same with or without glasses. So, um, Colin, he saw Casablanca in the cinema and A Wonderful Life. Now, see, yeah, both of those I could have seen them putting in the theaters. Yeah, absolutely. My wish is a new PC so you can play some of the new games, like Star Wars Squadrons. So Star Wars Squadrons, I don't have that one yet. I have the whatever the hell the last one, the Jedi Order, I think it was called. I have that one, which was pretty good. But Squadrons, uh, remind me, Bastille, if that is similar to like, remember the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and the X-Wing games like from LucasArts? Those are some of the those are classics. They have, um, a wide following to this day. And I heard Squadrons might be similar, but I don't know what the quality is. Or um, Rob would like Star Wars Squadrons too. um, Now, see, Lawrence of Arabia, Jonathan, I've never seen that in my life. So I know my wife has, but uh, I've actually never seen it. So I probably need to get that. I probably need to get that done. That's a classic I need to see. Um, and then let's see. Am I all caught up here? Okay. So yeah, it's like an updated version is my understanding. So yeah, I need to try that one out because when X-Wing versus the first X-Wing came out, it was incredible. Then they came out with X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, and somehow they made it even better. So yeah, Great Expectations. That's one I've never seen. Um, I'm trying to think. There was one. There was another one I've never seen that was a classic that was set like in Russia or something like that. An old black and white film, and that one I've got to put on my to-do list too. Um, People reference it every once in a while. I can't think of the name of it, but let's see. So yeah, oh yeah, for those that came in late, I'm having a Langang. That's how you would say it in German. Langang pills, and short for Pilsner, obviously. And it's made in Hamburg, Germany. Dr. Zhivago. That's it. That's the one I haven't seen. So Dr. Zhivago and what was the other one? Lawrence of Arabia. Those are the two I need to see. No, Colin, it was Dr. Zhivago. Yeah, I've never seen that. I've heard people say that it's a classic and you got to see it. I've had other people say that there's periods in it that were very slow, and it kind of drawled on, But I got to see it. Bridge over the River Kwai is fantastic. I mean, anybody who hasn't seen that needs to see that. I mean, that bridge over the River Kwai was incredible. So, I don't know how we got on to classic films, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, Jonathan and I actually went and saw, because Jonathan had never seen Jaws, ever. He'd never seen the film at all on TV or anywhere, and so it came out during the pandemic. They had it at one of our local theaters here, and he and I went, sat, had to have distance, mask on, the whole bit, and all that. There was nobody else in the theater, I don't think, and we actually saw Jaws on, because that happens to be my favorite movie, and saw it on the big screen. I hadn't seen it on the big screen since the late 70s, and so he got to see it for the first time on the big screen, just like we did when we were kids. So the last movie I saw, hey John, the last movie I saw in the theater was The Two Towers. Wow. Now, when it first released, or did they end up re-releasing them at some point? And that's when you said, because that's been a little bit of a time there, John. I mean, I thought I was bad about not going to the movies, but I've never seen a film with a live like music accompaniment. That would be kind of cool. I've never done that. Yeah, that would. Oh, by the way, we were talking about Jungle Cruise. What blew me away, the beginning of Jungle Cruise, the start of it, they start the film off, all you hear is a Metallica song playing. That's how the movie starts, on the Jungle Cruise. Blew my fucking mind. I'm like, telling my wife, I'm like, wait a second, that's a Metallica song. What the hell's that got to do with the jungle? And you'll just have to watch it to, yeah. So, Utah Symphony Orchestra does live movies sometimes. Well, now that I'm retired, Jonathan, no, it was not Enter Sandman. It was not, Rob. I'm not going to tell you. If you haven't seen it, it blew my mind. So, anyway, Jonathan, now that I'm retired, yeah, that might be something me and Carol have to do at some point. So, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of, I mean, it was kind of cool that they put it in the movie, but for a Disney movie, I didn't expect a Metallica song, to start off the movie. So, the retirement's fantastic. They've only called me twice from my old job for help, and the first time I helped my old boss a little bit. I told her a couple things that because, just not to go into a whole lot of stuff, but bottom line was they didn't hire anybody to replace me when I was still there, so I could train them. When I left, there was nobody to do my job, so they were scrambling ever since. So the first time I helped a little bit, and then the other day she called, and there wasn't much I could do. I was like, well, I can't explain it to you over the phone. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Nice to know that you're missed. Well, Yeah, I mean, if I think I would have felt like I wouldn't have been missed if they would have had someone hired and allowed me to train them before I left. Then I would have felt like, okay, they're not going to need to call me for anything. They're not going to. It'll be like I was never there, whatever. But the fact that they didn't do that, yeah, I knew that was going to be a problem. So, I plan to retire soon. Any advice for retiring in our mid 50s? Well, um, you can always start a YouTube channel. But just so you know, don't expect it to grow very much unless, you know, unless you've got unless you're willing to do something completely crazy, like, you know, uh, you know, uh, eat a eat a bowl of like nuts and bolts soaked in motor oil or something so that it goes viral and people going, holy shit, did you see this guy eat this bowl of nuts and bolts in motor oil? Unless you're willing to do something like that where it goes viral, don't expect your channel to um, change your phone number. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if I'll change my phone number, but luckily with technology, I can see who's calling and all that. So I let stuff go to voicemail or whatever. Diane's up to 360 subscribers now. Rob, did you DM me, or can you, if you don't mind putting it in here, you can put it in the chat. If YouTube will let you. I don't know if they'll let you, but because I'll go and I'll subscribe to her channel. If I haven't, I don't remember doing that, but of course I drink a lot of beer, so I could have forgotten. If Jonathan's still in here, you can ask him. I forget shit all the time. So, um, what time is? Oh, yeah, we're almost ready to wrap up here. Diane Cross dabblings and crafts. Okay, I will have to. Colin, I think I subscribed to you, didn't I? I think so. Just tickled he remembers my name. You talking about your name, Jonathan, or do you mean Miethril Amberglen? The fact that I remember that. Your character's name. How could I forget that monstrosity of a name? I mean, kudos to you for coming up with it. That you had the creativity to come up with a name like that. But you know, uh, Acer Glen. Yep. See, I fucked it up. I was thinking Amber Glen. There is a way, Colin, to see. You have to go into the channels, like your settings and all that stuff. I don't remember exactly how to do it. You have to play around with it. There is a way that you can go in. Now, if they have their shit marked as anonymous, it will not show up. But most people don't have their subscriptions marked as anonymous. So more than likely, most of your subscribers will show up there. So, yeah, Acer Glen. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Mead Acer, Maple and Glen equals forest clearing. Ah. Okay, so Meath is mead, and Acer equals maple and Glen. Okay. Or Acer equals maple and Glen equals forest clearing. So mead, maple, forest clearing. Okay. That's how you came up with it. All right. Well, I will promptly forget all of that. So we'll make sure of it. So come Friday, oh no, we're not playing this Friday, but the following Friday. Oh, by the way, yeah. So I'll do the update tomorrow for last Friday's big session that we did. The day after Thanksgiving, we're not playing. So it'll be the following Friday, our next game. So I thought a Glen was a little valley as well. I did not know that it meant forest clearing. So I mean, it kind of makes sense, but yeah. All right, guys. I gotta see here. I'm gonna cut and paste this. Diane Cross Dabblings and Crafts. I'm gonna cut that or copy it so that. All right. Well, it has been a quick hour, but I have laundry to do because if Mrs. Greyhawk gets home and her clothes aren't clean, it's my ass. So I gotta go do laundry and stuff. So it also refers to a type of mead made from maple. If that's that one that you made the one time, Jonathan, that was delicious. That if this is the one I'm thinking of, that was fantastic. So it explains why the painting is Monarch of the Glen. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. So that apple one, I think you're right. Yeah. Maple would be the most delicious thing on the planet if I'm assuming you meant if vanilla was not a thing. That's a funny way to spell chocolate, Colin. I know you meant to. I know you meant to type. It could have been autocorrect. I know you meant to say if chocolate was not a thing. I'm certain of that. But yeah, it's funny what autocorrect will do. You know. So painting shows a stag in a field, not a valley. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, because vanilla ice. People that eat vanilla ice cream by itself with nothing on it, I don't understand that. That's all that is frozen milk. That's all that is. Softly frozen milk. Uh, to me, eating vanilla ice cream with nothing on it is the same as taking a bath with your clothes on. There's literally no point to it. If you don't put some chocolate syrup or something on it, I mean, yeah. Uh, I never understood the vanilla thing. There's almost literally no flavor to it. It's like, again, to me, vanilla ice cream, it's like eating frozen milk if you don't put something on it. So, but now maple, I like maple syrup, good maple syrup. So, see, as long as you did, I put dark chocolate chips on vanilla ice cream. Says, hey, fantastic. There you go. That makes it all better, and because there's something to give it some flavor, you know. I have a vanilla porter, Jonathan, back here, and it's actually pretty good. But I'm pretty sure that they used what chocolate malts. Uh, the malt of choice for making that beer was chocolate because it tastes like chocolate, but they call it a vanilla porter. Tastes like chocolate. The only reason it tastes good is because it tastes like chocolate. They make a black vanilla ice cream at Founders. So good. If you put chocolate syrup on, I'm sure it's delicious. Vanilla Diet Coke. Um, no, I'll go if cherry Diet Coke. I can do that, but I did not predict that this day would see a fight instigated by vanilla. It's definitely not a fight, my friend. But let's just say it's a differing of opinions because at 55 years old, you're not going to change my opinion on vanilla. So try chocolate chip cookies without vanilla. It doesn't work. Now you may have a point there as an added seasoning. It adds an element of flavor to something that was already delicious to begin with. It enhances that. Yes, I'll grant you that. Yeah. So, Colin, I'm Scottish. Everything is a fight. Now that now that I believe. So, I've been watching the new season of Shetland. So, um, uh, yeah, that's, uh, that's part of Scotland, I believe. So, the Shetland Islands, and, I believe when you say everything is a fight. All right, I'm gonna get my ass kicked if I don't get laundry done. So, I'm out of here, guys. We'll see you. We'll catch you on the flip side. Tomorrow I'll do the update on the campaign back here. So, see you guys.